Hello everyone, I'm John Cassidy, and today we are exploring a place that really hits home for me. Maybe it's because I myself have been a patient in facilities like this, and this place resonates that. People committed to a place like this in Victorian times were never allowed to leave. That scary thought echoed through my mind as I undertook this project. Mental health was very misunderstood in the mid-1900s. Patients were often mistreated and in overcrowded facilities. During the early part of the 1900s, experts began to try to understand what might make a person behave in an erratic way. Sigmund Freud was a major influence here, but work advocated by Freud could take months or even years to complete. As a result, practitioners began dabbling in radical cures in the 1930s, hoping to eliminate mental illnesses altogether with one big gesture. Techniques that were used on the mentally ill included insulin-induced comas, lobotomies, malarial infections, and electroshock therapy. Today, people claim Hillview Manor is still haunted by the tortured souls that once resided here. So let's dive into the history of Hillview Manor. Hillview Manor was once known as the Lawrence County Home for the Aged, and also known as the Poor House or the Poor Farm, and housed the county's mentally ill, severely destitute, and elderly residents that did not have any known family. It was built to replace the aging Newcastle City Home and consolidated various small institutions around the county. The facility opened its doors on Tuesday, October 19, 1926. That day, Perry D Snyder and his wife Mary A Snyder, whom were the first elected in March of 1913 to serve in respective posts of the Newcastle City Home, took up residence in the Lawrence County Home for the Aged in this here apartment. Along with Mr. and Mrs. Snyder came their 2 children, about 12 staff members, and the first 20 inmates from the old city home, and took up residence in the Lawrence County Home. A young boy was among these first 20 inmates, although the home did not generally take children. The property was basically a dumping ground in the first part of the 1900s for what our unenlightened society viewed as outcasts. By today's standards, a practice completely unacceptable and inhumane. Everyone from criminals, orphan children, to widows, to the mentally ill lived together at the Hillview Manor. Many would find their final resting place on the grounds of Hillview. Many of the deaths being of questionable cause, and it only makes sense that a facility once packed with the distressed and abandoned living souls, that its walls still echo that torment. In June of 1944, county welfare officials and the Snyders, now in their late 70s, were accused of incompetency at the home. During the hearing, the Snyders were retired with pensions, but permitted to stay at the home. But by late August, the Snyders were given 3 weeks to vacate the premises. The Snyders' run of over 30 years of service to the community had ended, and Mance B. Hogue, the longtime director of the welfare department, took over operations at the home. The home continued to operate for many years, and in the later half of the 1960s was remodeled and slowly changed into a skilled nursing center while under supervision of Director Clarence E. Covert. By 1970, the home was facing severe overcrowding issues, and Covert became bitter about lack of county support and resigned in January of 1973. In December of 1974, the county decided to add a new section, which is now known as the North Wing, and remodeled some of the existing floors. A new 3-story addition, including an additional basement floor, was to be built. This would allow the home to accommodate another 30 or more residents. A new kitchen and dining room and other occupational rooms were included in the construction. The north wing opened in mid-1977, and after a contest to find a more suitable name for the Lawrence County Home for the Aged, it was renamed as View Manor on March 22, 1977. View Manor closed its doors in 2004 due to financial constraints. Although it sits quietly atop of the hill, evidence of its history still remains very active. In the rest of this video, we will be exploring every bit of the property of View Manor. Let's go explore, everyone.
Farm sounds, cows, horses, pigs, dogs. People have heard all those different sounds in this area when they were doing an investigation overnight.
Why farm?
It was a Ford farm originally. So it's residual sound that you will hear. The organ has been heard playing when it wasn't plugged in and nobody was anywhere near it.
That's creepy.
One of our first ones. I'm gonna do those things here. One former resident's name on here. This is a man's stairwell. Did you see the groundhog?
Yeah. Kind of happy.
Thank you. Ooh, finally some cool air. So we're down in the basement now, guys. It's creepy down there.
Maybe they didn't want to pick them up.
Oh, those are mattresses.
They figured leave there for that purpose. But these are quite extended in the summer, especially if they leak. You can see.
Old desk. Oh, look at these papers.
Just where they're all over the place now.
Pharmacist consultant. That's cool.
So, hi there.
Ooh, we're picking up something, guys.
Are you happy people came to visit you today? You know the deal. Light it up if you're happy. Did the group's... Oh, thank you. Did the group's last night treat you well?
Whoa.
In this hallway, as you come out the door, you'll see some stuffed animals and soap bubbles. There has been evidence of children. Hi. Jimmy. Oh. Is that you, Jimmy? Okay. George was a maintenance man. And he used to work down here. some recent information we're not sure. Hi, George. How you doing, buddy?
Hi. You can talk to me today.
Yeah, I'm your friend.
That's not anything.
I know you're a good guy. A lot of people back in the day wanted to give George a bad rap. I figured that he's a good guy.
Okay, we're back on to the first floor. What is this, like a medicine cabinet?
Here's the station. This is the original part of the building.
Oh, okay. Lost to me. Ooh.
Also being childlike, she gave you green vegetables.
Ooh, that's creepy.
She would let the staff know in no uncertain terms that she wanted green vegetables off of her tray. Had you brought her some.
Oh, that is so creepy. Wow.
Cafeteria converted into a beauty salon. The ratio was approximately average 9 to 1.
Wow, this is
So
the
this
beauty
area was
salon,
big enough
guys.
for 10 women to eat in cafeteria setting. They were absolutely forbidden.
So when this was like a nursing home, then this is where they would get their hair done and stuff?
Yes, women could get their hair done twice a month, men got a haircut once a month.
Huh.
The hair that is in the sinks are from the residence when it was open. They've
Okay.
never been cleaned out. Some of the more modern product, well, probably all the product that you see in here has been brought in. They didn't have.
Look at all these products from the nursing home used to do their hair, do nails. Wow. It's really sad. On to the third floor now, guys. And I think it's, oh, that light comes on. That's cool. Do it again. Yeah.
Tom Robinson has said we knew there's evidence.
Up here, guys, was really creepy skylights. Look at these.
These skylight?
Yes, residential skylight. I'm not sure why they painted them, but they did.
There's some old people that lived here.
Of the building?
Yeah.
Around 2007, the building was broke into by vandals, and they stole over $150,000 of copper piping, and they also vandalized the building pretty bad. Nowadays, Hillview Manor offers tours of the moldy building, but I don't recommend getting a tour because it's overpriced and it doesn't feel haunted to me. This was a very dreary place, and in all reality, it should most likely be torn down. Well, that's going to conclude this documentary and tour of Hillview Manor.